So, I will mainly discuss about the experimental procedure to measure the conductivity and Hall voltage. Okay. So, as I discuss that if I know these two parameters to these two of a sample for a sample, then I will get all information about the conducting parameter for conduction, right. That we have seen, that's what was the relation J equal to sigma E, or let me write electric field, right, and J equal to N E mu. So, I will not bother about the sign. Okay. So, let me write Q, J equal to N Q, this the mobility, and yes, this is the mobility, and here this will be there. So, this is telling me the sigma equal to, or let me write here, okay, sigma equal to NQ mu, okay, NQ mu. Okay. So, this sigma depends on this density of carriers and the mobility of the carrier, that is what I was telling. And this for VH, what is this VH? VH, if I remember, so VH was equal to RH, IX, current IX, and then BZ divided by thickness of the sample T, right, thickness of the sample T. So, and RH, what is RH? RH basically, RH is 1 by NQ, right. So, if I can measure, if I can know the RH, then I will know the density, this density of states or density of electron. So, from here one can tell N equal to 1 by RH Q. So, Q, this charge is known, is known, and this if RH known, so one can get N. So, one can get N or P, right, it can be N or P. So, this charge carrier, it can be N or P, whatever, whole density. And yes, so that's what. So, I will know the carrier density, and then from the sign of this RH, from the sign of the Hall voltage, so then that I can take the sign of the RH, and from there I can tell this whether it is Q is electron E plus minus E, or this it is plus E. Okay. So, that also we can find out, and I told also that we can find out the mobility of the electrons, or the whole if I can measure the conductivity, right, from Hall measurement, I know this part, okay, from RH. So, basically here this I can write sigma equal to 1 by RH, NQ is 1 by RH, so mu by RH, okay. So, RH equal to, then RH equal to mu by sigma, okay. So, Hall coefficient, if I measure the Hall coefficient, if I calculate or determine experimentally the Hall coefficient RH, and if I can measure the conductivity of this that same sample, then I will get the mu, okay. I will get the mu value, okay. So, I will get the mu value. So, that mu will be RH sigma. So, I want to get mu value, I want to get current density, this N or P, N or phi, that I will know if I measure the RH, so that is RHQ, okay, depending on the sign of this. So, I can find out the type of carriers, fine. So, here I have to set experiment, for measuring this RH and sigma conductivity. So, ultimately I have to measure Hall coefficient and conductivity of my sample. Then I will know different parameter for that sample. So, this form of this, you see, it was not in that form initially, it was just EH Hall field equal to some Jx, etc., but I have taken this is form, suitable form, where I can set the experiment and vary these parameters and get the vary these parameters, and I can measure them or get the reading from the instrument, and I can ultimately calculate the RH. Similarly, for sigma, if what is the form, sigma equal to okay. So, I have to get suitable form of sigma. Directly I have no instrument to measure the conductivity, right. So, there are instruments, resistance we can measure, but it's again you need sensitive instrument to measure the conductivity, that is not done directly. So, some instrument is giving that value, again that based on the principle, that instrument is based on some principle, and that principle one has to know. So, that basically from here, from our discussion, we will know that the principle of that type of instrument. So, for here conductivity is related with the electric field, but generally electric field or this current density we do not measure, we prefer this. So, let us take a okay. So, if I so the J, so now if I multiply with some area A in both sides, area A, right, and if we multiply in both sides with some this length of your sample along which this you have applied the electric field. So, say electric field is applied along the length, okay, and this is the cross section A of this sample. This the width and the thickness, it is related with the width and the thickness. So, then if I multiply with length L, so capital L or small l, whatever. So, I have to multiply with L also here, okay. So, then so I can multiply both sides, there is no, I can multiply, divide, so there is no problem. So, this I can write I into L equal to this, I can write sigma A, put A here, and this is E L, electric field into this length, that will give me voltage V, okay, that will give me voltage V. So, this the practical, this voltage or current, for measuring current, for measuring voltage, we have ammeter, voltmeter. So, I can design the experiment. So, I need some realistic this parameter which I can measure, okay. So, this form is suitable form. So, then what I can write, V equal to I L by sigma A, right, sigma A, okay. So, sigma, one can write sigma equal to 1 by rho, resistivity. So, this conductivity, resistivity, whatever, fine. So, this is basically, I can write this some constant V equal to some constant I. So, this is nothing but the resistance, right, this is nothing but resistance. So, I have now formula where I can write that V equal to, I have now formula, suitable formula. So, V equal to I R, V R one can write here R, okay, V equal to I R, and where R equal to L by sigma A. So, sigma equal to L by R A, okay. So, this my the very suitable form for experiment. These are very suitable form for my experiment. So, here what I want to measure, what I want to get, I have to get RH and I have to get sigma for my sample, okay. So, how to measure, how to get them? So, for that I have to set the experiment. So, I will take a sample of some material, either semiconductor or metal, not insulator, please, not insulator, semiconductor or metal, okay. So, Okay. So, here you see just generally in theory we derive in different way in terms of different parameters. Okay. But for the experiment always you have to take that formula, that expression in a suitable form, so that you can set experiment with known or available components. Components means you have to apply current, how to apply current, you have to measure voltage, how to measure voltage. So, that is known to us. So, these are basic things. Now, whatever known to us, using them I can do experiment, I can find out the value of the parameter for which I am interested. Okay. So, that is why always one has to take in suitable form. So, in theory this form are in different way that may not be directly suitable for the experiment, like density of states, right. We always tell density of states, but in experiment, okay, we talk in terms of density of the carrier. Okay. And theory, we have seen this theory, it is related with the density of states. Okay. So, that one has to know, and it is very important, it is very important. So, this what I should do. So, this is my sample. So, this thickness is T, width is W, length is L, right. So, this I want to measure the, what I want to measure? I want to measure those parameters, but that is given that they are related with this. So, that means I have to this is called Hall measurement. One is Hall measurement, another is resistivity measurement. One is Hall measurement, we tell Hall measurement, Hall setup, for that Hall setup, Hall measurement for that Hall setup, right. And another is called resistivity measurement or conductivity measurement, resistivity measurements or yeah, resistivity measurement or conductivity measurement, resistivity or IV characteristics of your sample, IV characteristics of your sample, resistivity measurements or IV characteristics of the IV characteristics of the sample or measurement of your sample. Okay. So, if I what you know if I give you a resistance, if I give you a resistance, okay, a wire, if a wire or a piece of some stripe or piece of rod of some material, if I ask you to measure the resistance, what you do? You just you will take one battery, and you connect this battery with this, right. You will connect this battery with this, right. Now, we take generally variable battery, means you can change the voltage. So, if you are applying voltage across this, okay, and current will flow. So, I will use ammeter or milliammeter, whatever ammeter I will use. So, what is the current flowing through this? I can get. Okay. So, I will get I for a particular setting of voltage here, but I am not interested for this voltage. So, this voltage will set current in my circuit. One has to understand correctly. So, we are not interested about this voltage. Okay. We are varying this voltage. There are some procedures, just yeah. So, voltage divider one can make in different way. So, changing voltage, now we are changing voltage to set current in this circuit. Now, I set a current in this circuit. So, that current is I. Okay. Now, for this current is passing through this resistance. So, I have to measure voltage drop across this resistance. Okay. So, I have to use voltmeter here, I have to use voltmeter here. Okay. So, I set current in the circuit, that I will get this reading from here, and voltage drop across this resistance, that I will get from this voltmeter. Okay. So, this, if I set this measurement like this, so I will get so this will be satisfied. Generally what you do, you just vary set current in different current, measure voltage. So, other way either V here, I, whatever. So, set different current and measure the voltage. So, you will get this type of. So, experimentally generally we measure many times and plot and take the average value. Okay. So, just from, so for this current, this is the voltage. So, I know this voltage, I know this current. Okay. So, V by I will get this R value. Experimentally I measured and get the R value. I know this parameter, I know this the geometry of my sample, L, A is omega t, W t, right. Then R I got from my experiment, this is from geometry, and then I will get sigma man. So, these are the things. Okay. So, this method whatever I told you are familiar with this, these are not very sensitive. If I want to measure the resistance of this sample, okay, it's not very thin, wire, you know, this resistance is very high. Okay. So, for a particular current voltage drop will be high. So, whatever this conventional voltmeter and ammeter are sufficient for this high resistance. Okay. But here resistance is very small. If you take metal, so resistance, of course resistivity is very small. Okay. So, voltage drop will be very small, right. It is microampere, nanoampere range. Okay. So, you need very sensitive arrangement to measure the current and voltage. Okay. So, that is why there is a method, it is called 4 probe method, 4 probe method, yeah, 4 probe method. Probe method. So, probe means generally here instead of, you see, here just wire we just connect it or solder with it. So, here, so I have to connect this one, and I have to connect this ammeter, this circuit, this with this sample. If this is my sample, if this is my sample, if this is my sample, so from that, in that sample what I am doing, this current is going this way, okay, and I am measuring the voltage. So, basically here I have, from this sample I have taken only 2 connection, okay, I have taken only 2 connection. Okay. So, at this point and from this point. Now, from this, so this now if it is a connection, so now this is a probe, I am telling this whatever probe, this just, it is not soldered on, just it is contact connection, you know, it is contact connection. Okay. So, that is why it is called probe. Probe is basically conductive, some very highly conductive material. This wire is taken, this pin, kind of pin, you know pin, right. So, this for paper, just we use pin to hold it. So, this type of sharp edge. Okay. So, this we put on, so just put on this on pressure, we put pressure, slight pressure, and just this it contact it with the sample. So, this called this contact connection. It is not shouldered or this twisted one. So, this just contact this. So, for that we use the probe kind of thing. So, pin. So, pin, if you take pin, 2 pin. So, I have sample, say I have sample, and then I put just 2 probe just with some slight pressure. So, that there will be good contact. Now, this from that probe I am taking the connection, okay. I am connecting the voltmeter, I am connecting the voltmeter, okay. And so, as if here if I modify it, so here this is my sample. So, one probe, so I can tell this is one probe, this is another probe, okay. Now, from this I am taking this connection from here, I am taking this connection from here, and other one I am taking connection here, I am taking connection here, okay. So, I am not disturbing my sample except these just 2 contact, okay. Now, with the contact I am taking. So, this is called basically 2 probe method, 2 probe method. So, 2 probe, it is used for supplying current to the sample, and it is used for measuring the voltage drop across the sample, right. So, these are 2 probe. So, we need basically connection for measuring the voltage drop. So, we need 2 connection, and also we need 2 connection for supplying current in the sample, right. So, basically we need 4 connection with the sample. So, here if we use 2 probe, 2 connection, and then I am taking from that connection I am taking this other 2, but with the sample these 2. So, this whatever Ohm's law, verification Ohm's law etc., whatever you do Jan in lab. So, that is basically 2 probe method, and in 2 probe method it has error, it gives measurement gives error, and when especially when this resistance is very small like this type of sample, then that error you cannot neglect that error, okay. So, so it is telling that 4 probe method is more accurate than this 2 probe method. But now question is that from where that error is coming. So, let me explain here. So, here you see current is coming flowing through this, right. So, when current is flowing through this, so there will be small resistance of your probe. So, small resistance of your probe. So, if it is RP probe resistance, so current is flowing this way, right, this way. So, it is flowing through this. So, that resistance is RP, that resistance also RP. So, 2 RP inner circuit 2 RP plus there will be some contact resistance, there will be some contact resistance. You cannot ignore when your sample resistance is very small. So, there will be 2 contacts. So, 2 RC contact resistance, right, and then your sample resistance Rs, your sample resistance, right. So from where you are measuring voltage, that is important, from where you are measuring voltage, that is important. I am measuring voltage here. So this voltmeter, it will give the voltage drop for this resistance and this resistance, and also this contact resistance, right. So whatever this voltmeter is giving me reading, that is that current is constant, of course it is flowing, current is constant, it is flowing. So this into I, so that will be my voltage, whatever I am measuring, measurement voltage, okay, RM measurement voltage, right. And then whatever this Vm by, so Vm by your I, Vm by I, okay. So here you write, so Vm by I equal to, this is the resistance. So it is not your sample resistance, So whatever resistance, overall resistance, this total resistance is whatever R you are getting, and that R you are using here to find out the conductivity. So lot of error in that. It is not your sample resistance, it includes the resistance of your probe, resistance of your this contact, okay. So that is why error is more. So we have to avoid for small resistance, if it is small resistance, so then it will give high error, right. So I have to avoid these two, okay. So I have to try to measure this RS. Okay. How to do that? So that is why he is saying, if we take 4 probe, 2 probe for current and 2 probe for this measuring voltage, then it seems you can avoid this resistance. So how this is difficult to understand, because 2 contact is giving more error, and I am taking 4 contact from the sample, and it will give less error. How it is possible? Yes, it is possible. Just here you think that I am this 2 probe I am using, for supplying the current, and 2 more probe I am using. So here say, so here 2 more probe I am using for separate probe I am using. So this separate probe I am using for measuring the voltage, okay. So then it seems I can avoid this one. Is it so? Let us see. So here current is flowing. So current is flowing through this resistance, this resistance, contact resistance, fine. I do not have problem, but whatever current I am getting from here, so that current is, it will not, this current will not be affected by this resistance, okay. So I will change the voltage, I will set a current here, okay. So whatever the resistance, I do not bother so this the current which is flowing, I am sure that this is flowing through my sample, it is flowing through my sample, it is flowing to others also, but through my sample this is the resistance current. Now when I am measuring the voltage here, then there is no voltage drop due to this contact, because this is voltmeter, it has very high resistance, voltmeter have very high resistance. So, no current will flow through this probe, no current will flow through this probe, right. It can be very negligible current, okay, since this resistance is very high comparable compared to this your sample resistance. Okay. So, all current will flow through this and no current is flowing through this. So, there will not be any voltage drop because of this. So, this contact resistance will not come into the picture. Okay. So, whatever voltage here reading I am getting, that is purely this voltage drop because of my this sample, right, because this contact no current is flowing. So, how this contact resistance, so it will affect the resistance, right. So, because IR, that is the voltage drop. So, no current is flowing through this. So, there will not be any current, any voltage drop across this contact resistance, across this probe resistance, right, across this probe resistance, across this contact resistance. Only this voltmeter will give me reading, that is voltage drop across this purely for my sample. So, I can get rid of this, So, I will get RS equal to my measurement voltage V divided by I, that is basically my sample resistance. Okay. So, this I will get. So, this is the beauty of this 4 probe method. Hopefully, I tried to make you understand, but you should think yourself. Okay. So, this is very nice method. So, there are 2 ways, one is linear 4 probe method, another is called Van der Paa method. Okay. So, here whatever I explained, so here basically in middle of the sample at equal distance we take this probe, we take this probe. Okay. So, this outer 2 is used for current and this inner 2 is used for measuring voltage. Okay. So, whatever I explained the same way. So, here this probe distance is very important, and generally we keep at equal distance, and this expression is slightly modified. So, I will not discuss that one. But this is the way one use 4 probe, linear 4 probe method. But for Hall measurement what we do? Hall measurement, these 2 probe we use for supplying current. Okay. So, this is Jx or Ix. Okay. And here one probe and this along the y direction, So, here 2 probe. So, these 2 probe we use for measuring Hall voltage. Okay. So, this is not now not linear. So, 2 are using this along the x direction and 2 we are using along the y direction, and now this whole sample are put in a magnetic field. Okay. So, this is the geometry is called Van der Paa geometry. So, I will not just discuss in that part, but here just, so this is the arrangement. Okay. Now, this you are setting current Ix, you are setting current Ix along the x direction, and you are measuring the Hall voltage, from there, applying different magnetic field, just very magnetic field, or and get this Ix, get this Vh, okay, and then if you draw a curve Vh, so you will get, I think, linear type of curve. So, from there you will get this from the slope you will get this constant, from the slope you will get this constant. So, Ix and this is known, so you will get this Rh. Okay. So, from there one can calculate all this parameter. So, I will stop here. So, in next class I will start this thermal properties of solids. So, I think electrical properties of solids, so is very I took long time, because there are many theories one has to develop, free electron theory, band theory, and then metal how this density of states are arranged, and the semiconductor how this density of states are arranged, or density of carriers. So, I think I will stop here. Thank you for your attention.